Let me know when my mic is on. We're good? Okay. It just changed over 9:29 to 9:30, so that means we're starting right on time. Okay, good morning and welcome to Coffee with the Birds. Those of you in person, I'm going to repeat myself a little bit just because we are now online with at least 8 viewers, and that will probably grow. But welcome to those of you who are online for joining us. We've got a full room here at the Nature Center, and right now we have blue jays outside, but everything took flight a moment ago. Let me introduce myself. My name is Curtis Dykstra, Parks Naturalist and Program Supervisor with Ottawa County Parks, and I want to welcome you to the Nature Center and to the live stream online for the February edition of Coffee with the Birds here with Ottawa County Parks. I was just chatting with the folks here in the room, and we are representing from all over the county except Allendale. Sorry, Allendale, we need you. But we've got people from all over the county and out of the county, Grand Rapids and Fenville representing. So those of you online, we'd love to hear where you're viewing us from. Wherever you are around the county, around the state, around the country, around the world. We don't know where you're from, so we'd love to hear. We've got Traverse City. The Schmidts must be on vacation up there. They live in Ottawa County. Watching from Traverse City, excellent. And they've got a pileated hairy and downy woodpecker up there. We've got blue jays here, Scott. Pamela is viewing from Fremont. The squirrels and crows are hanging out in my yard at the moment, so they're watching the feeders as they're watching the feeders online. And hey, boss, Jessica's online from Allendale, so she's representing from Allendale. Good job, way to go, represent from Allendale. We've at least got one person online from Allendale. And Amy says good morning from Coopersville. So thank you all for taking time out of your morning to join us here online and in person for Coffee with the Birds. What is Coffee with the Birds? If you haven't been here before or haven't joined us before, this is a really informal time for us to enjoy coffee, donuts, and birds. And in addition to that, when we mix those things together, we get community. And so that's the ultimate goal here, whether online or in person. We have community around something, a shared love, a shared value in birds and birding. It is one of the most prolific pastimes for people in North America, and you are part of that, and thank you for joining this community to do that. So we will be identifying birds at the feeders. We will be, I will be taking questions about feeding the birds, bird identification, etc. And if anybody has online or in-person questions, please let me know what your questions are, maybe your stories, your sightings, anything bird related is fair game. And we'd love to hear from you. And sorry, those of you online, I can't give you coffee and donuts, but hopefully you've got your own there. I've got mine, as you can see, and my coffee. So hopefully you're drinking good coffee and eating good donuts wherever you are as well. Coffee with the Birds. Let me switch my own screen here. Here we go. Coffee with the Birds is made possible by, let me do this slide here. Come on. There we go. Coffee with the Birds is made possible by sponsors. Sponsors including Washtenaw Islands Audubon Society, who have donated to purchase seed at the feeders. Kestrel Imagery, which is Rick VELDMAN here, and his willingness to partner with us to provide live streaming. If you want to support him, you can see behind me here on the wall, and if you want to put that up there, we've got a sample of his photography. There's other photos out in the lobby there that you can look at, and there are QR codes on those photos that you can purchase them directly from him and support him in his business. So thank you to Kestrel Imagery. Madcap Coffee donated the coffee you're drinking today. So thank you, Madcap. And I'll have some information on where you can get Madcap coffee a little bit later. Friends of Ottawa County Parks is providing the other hot drinks that are not coffee, so thank you to them. DeBrine Seed Store. Of course, we buy our seed from DeBrine, and you'll hear me repeat DeBrine probably a few times today. And they also donate the prizes that we have available, so thank you to DeBrine's. But last but not least, those of you who are, and I want to finish this up because the birds are coming back. Those of you who are Mug Club members, raise your mug. Thank you so much for your membership in the Mug Club. And if you don't have your mug with you, you can raise something else like binoculars. Yes. With your membership, you are sponsoring this program and you are sponsoring Feeding the Birds at the Feeder. So thank you so much for your sponsorship of this program. Without folks like you, I'd probably be told I can't do the program, you know. Well, maybe not. Okay. I don't want to give you too hard a time there, Jess. She's online. My boss is online. So, but thank you. That makes this program possible. So with your $25 purchase of the Mug Club membership, you get this mug. They are still available, and you can purchase them online. You can also purchase them in person here at the Nature Center. Okay, let's get to identifying some birds. All right, let's watch the bird feeders. Right here in front of us on number 5 is a downy woodpecker. You'll notice there's no red on it, and there it goes. That was the male downy woodpecker, or excuse me, female downy woodpecker without the red on it. And then everything else flew as I pointed that one out. Chickadee over there left of 7. That's the mealworm feeder. Do we have any goldfinches out over way up there? So the goldfinches are going to hang out up there, and then they slowly descend like an elevator down to number 3 and number 4 in particular is where they like to end up. We've got juncos coming in here in the branches. They'll probably be feeding on the ground in a moment. Boy, I thought we were building. There's a tree sparrow underneath number 7. Did I beat Rick? Ha, there was a titmouse on number 1. I just saw it on the camera. So the little brown guys on the ground there are tree sparrows. Wintertime residents here. They got a little reddish cap, a gray breast with a spot on the front, and a bicolored bill, a dark top and a light yellowish orange bottom bill. Lots of them building on the ground there. The other ones that you see on the ground, in the background on the screen there, you can see the dark-eyed junco with the white belly and the dark, really dark gray, almost black head and back with the white tail strips on the outer tail. That's the dark-eyed junco. Those are our 2 wintertime only species. They come here. This is south for the winter for them, and they will be heading back by April. And we've got a hairy woodpecker. Oh, we've got goldfinches on number 4 now. You can see they've been descending on the feeders. Lots of tree sparrows. I think this is the most I've seen so far, but we've got the hairy woodpecker on number 10 there, Rick. That's a donated feeder, and basically it's a branch with some holes that are drilled into them that we stuff suet in. And then it provides a natural surface for the woodpeckers to cling onto and forage in a more normal way. So that is the male hairy woodpecker on number 10. Great. We got it. It's a race between me and Rick. Yeah, number 4 has got a lot of goldfinches on it. If you can get there before they fly there, Rick, I don't know. The sunflower seed is what we feed like 80% of the seed out here. So the ones that you see in number 4 and number 3, the one that's up on the screen there, that is black oil sunflower, but it is chips. So it's just the inner hearts of the seed. And that one is coarse sunflower seed, but you can get various grades of sunflower seed as far as size, how much it's been chipped up. There's a medium sunflower chip. Oh, song sparrow. Oh, right, yes, right out in front of us. Right down here, I don't even know if you can angle it. There's a song sparrow on the ground on this side of the pond. Real streaky on the front, not that plain gray breast with a spot. He's got all kinds of streaks on it. There he is. He's popping up on that rock over here. He's probably too close where he is, isn't he, Rick? Rick is struggling on this one. Because you know as soon as you get on him, he's going to fly over to the rest of the sparrows and be easy for your camera. Oh, he got him. There, Rick got him. There's the song sparrow. This is becoming a year-round resident here in Ottawa County. Come a month from now, these guys are going to be arriving from the south, and the ones that are already here are going to start singing on territory. They're one of the first beautiful songsters of the spring. A month from now, we should be cardinal on number 8, and we got a tufted titmouse up here, and a house finch on number 8 as well. Yep. So we've got a good amount of birds. At about the time the red-winged blackbirds come back is the time that the song sparrows come back to, and they start singing. So that's always a celebrated day when I come into work and I hear the song sparrows singing out on the river here. There's a chickadee. Oh, we got a bunch of activity here. We'll field some questions here in a minute, but definitely enjoying all of the activity there. And I don't mean to ignore all of you online either. Look at all the messages that are coming in while I'm viewing the birds here. There's a blue jay coming in up top here, a couple of blue jays. Cardinal on number 3 and a hairy woodpecker on number 3. Yep. And a cardinal and a house finch on number 8. I think we're going to go through all of the species up on the board there in the first 10 minutes of the program here. This is great. This is great. We've got all the squirrels out there too. Excellent. Did we cover everything that's out there so far? I think so. Good. I'm going to catch up on some comments here. Just as soon as I look away from outside, everybody here in the audience goes, "Oh," like that, and so then I have to look again. There's a cardinal parade out there right now. Rick is doing a great job getting it on the cardinal. You know, one bird that we haven't seen. Who can see the first white-breasted nuthatch? Did you? Okay, I guess I'm too slow. Pine siskin too. So if you can pick up a pine siskin out of that finch flock, that would be great. And there's a magic word here. You know, Noel, who's working at the front desk here, he's my counterpart here at the park. And he grew up in South Florida, Miami. He's never seen a redpoll. So if we scream redpoll, he's liable to come in here and tackle a few people to see it. Okay, so just look out. There's a couple reports around, yep. So those of you online, we've got hello from Canada. Kincardine, did I say that right? Kincardine, Ontario on the Lake Huron shoreline. Goldfinches, crows, and squirrels here. Excellent. Those are the Canadian goldfinches, Canadian crows, and Canadian squirrels, right? Welcome, international crowd here. So, good morning from Western Park Township. We've got the Mannings online. Pam says, now the birds are coming in. Tree swallow, are you sure, Pam? I think you mean tree sparrow. Doves, titmice, goldfinches. Tree swallows won't be here till sometime in April. Jessica is giving you a thumbs up. Nice job, Rick, there. And Pam is saying, nice close-up of the song sparrow. Thanks, Rick. So, questions, comments, things I've been pointing out that just were too rapid fire and you need some repetition on it. What's on your minds? Coffee with the Birds crowd here this morning. Go ahead. Mm-hmm. Yes. Yes. So the comment is, and if I repeat, that's because I'm doing it for online. One of the house finches that was seen on number 8 earlier has more of a yellowish color than a red color. And that is, from what I understand, an impact of diet. So we don't often see the yellow house finches, but this year we've had one or two of them around. And a lack of carotenoids in the diet will reduce the amount of red coloration in their feathers. So, so take a look, watch for that yellow house finch again. I did see it yesterday as well, but very good question. It's on number 4? Oh, it was on 4? It's on mealworm? Oh, the mealworms is the one that I can't see because the suet is in the way. But Rick, if you see it, feel free to take aim. Take aim. Let's see. Laura is here from Oklahoma. I received some news. Oh, there they all go. Something spooked them. Who made a face at the birds in here? Who did it? So your mom gave me an update there, Laura. So it sounds like you might be making your way back to Michigan for the summer. So hope to see you around, and maybe banding some Kirtland warblers. So sounds cool. Yeah. There's later this afternoon. There is forecast, especially north of here, though. Snow and potentially a little bit of a mix. We're not supposed to get much here, but anytime they feel that low pressure, they just go nuts. So this is good timing to watch the birds here without the snow coming down, right? It's really busy when the snow's coming down, but it's nice to catch it before. So any other questions, comments, stories, things you want to share while the birds aren't at the feeders? Nothing. We got a quiet crowd today. There we go. Oh, that's Susan's sister. All right. Well, welcome, Susan's sister and family there. All right. From Canada. Kincardine? Kincardine. See, I'm not going to get it right. Kincardine. Like cardinal. Like I'm starting to say Kincardinal. Cardinal. We've got 24 viewers online. So far, we're more in attendance than online. Come on, online people. Yeah, question. I don't know if have they made that official change. Did you just see a Cooper's hawk?
It literally right there.
Is it right on the ground here?
No, it flew in and the grass opened and blew out. That flew down right off the roof.
Whoa, we just had a hawk fly in. I missed it. He came off the roof and down. Do you know if it grabbed something? Was there something in? Okay, so Marcia from the other room can see the Cooper's hawk up in the tree that direction. Yeah. Didn't see anything in the tail ends? I wonder if we'll be able to see it on the number 8 camera if we look back at it, because as it flies, it might go in front of that camera. We'll have to see, because it went right around the corner. I'll have to mark the minutes on the... Wow. I missed it. That does not happen very often while we're in a coffee with the birds, so that's pretty spectacular. And on top of that, what were we talking about? Cooper's hawks. Nice call. So Coopers are sharp-shinned. By anybody dare make a guess? I didn't see it, so I can't say. It was what? It was decent size, so leaning Coopers-ish. Oh, I think I do have a slide for that. Okay, I'm gonna go to a slide of Coopers and Sharpshin. I think I do. Crow flying over. Oh yes, crow for the checklist, way up there. You didn't get that on camera? Why not? Oh, I don't have a slide for that one here. I should have a slide for that one here. But I do not. Oh, you know what? There I do. This is a preview of the program that I have later. So birds to look for at the feeders. And birds to look for at the feeders include Cooper's hawk and Sharpshin hawk. The Cooper's hawk is on the left two, and the Sharpshin hawk is the right two. The one in the hand there with the glove, that's my hand. That's how small that bird is. That's a male Sharpshin hawk. You can see the flat tail on the end versus to the left, you can see the very rounded tail with a very big white bar on the end. Also, if you look at the Sharpshin hawk, you can see that the head, the cap, is the same color as the back. Whereas on the Cooper's hawk, it's a little hard to tell on these pictures here, but the Cooper's hawk has a darker cap and a lighter back. And they also have this slick back look to them. They don't have the really rounded head like the Sharpshin does. And so there's usually a big size discrepancy, but the male Cooper's hawk and the female Sharpshin hawk can be pretty close in size. Yes.
Is there a difference in territory for those? Because we're in a suburban neighborhood with a lot of open fields, not a lot of trees, and you get lots of super hawks and not a lot of
Sharpshin hawks are more migratory here, and we'll get back to the question on the scientific the naming of the birds too. But Cooper's hawks are year-round residents here, and they're more abundant. The Sharpshin hawk is a migrant through here, and a few will spend the winter here, more toward the lakeshore than inland. But Cooper's hawk far outnumbers Sharpshin. And Cooper's hawk has adapted to living in suburban neighborhoods, probably because of the bird feeders, the large flocks of house sparrows that hide out in the bushes, things like that. Whereas Sharpshin hawks don't stay here long enough to generally take advantage of that. They're usually going through. And as far as the nomenclature for the Cooper's hawk, I had read something about that. I'm not up to speed entirely on it, but there's talk about, the accipiters are not what we thought because of the genetics. I mean, if we look at morphology, we're looking at the birds themselves and the physical structures and their behavior and things. Coopers and Sharpshin hawk, like, they look the same, so like we would categorize them together, but I think there's some genetic work that's saying that maybe they're not as close as we thought, which is pretty interesting. It would be a hard one for me to get used to, because when I see a Cooper / Sharpshin, I like to say accipiter species, on my eBird checklist, if I don't know what species it was, because accipiter is the type of hawk. An accipiter in the past, and it may change in the future, it were hawks that were forest dwelling generally, but have long tails to help them and short, stout wings that help them to maneuver through trees and brush and things like that in order to catch other birds. And that's their main prey, is other birds. So where that's going to go, I'm not sure. I need to look it up and read some more on it. I don't know. I can't remember. It might be a new class of some sort. I don't know. I'm going to have to look it up. Yes. Wow. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times, so the comment is, it was you said it was a Cooper's hawk, right? Oh, red tail. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm so on the Cooper's hawk. Red tails, So the comment is a red-tailed hawk was sitting in the yard close to the trees and the feeders and things, and the birds weren't really paying mind to it. Had a full crop, so it looked like it was full, didn't need to eat. A couple of things going on there. Hawks often depend on the element of surprise. Okay? If they are found out, then it's really hard for them to catch what they want. So the birds are like, well, we see you right here, you're not going to get us. So there's that element. But then there's also the element that red-tailed hawks are not generally feeders other than for squirrels or other small rodents. So red-tailed hawks don't generally chase after birds. That's not to say that they never would, but generally speaking, they have different prey than the Cooper's hawk. Cooper's hawk would be a different story. Yeah. Yep. Probably. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. Yep. That's what the red-tailed are going to be more after is the rodents. Yep, and squirrels. Yes. They knew. They knew. Yeah. So, yeah, the comment here is about watching a snake in a tree in Africa eat a weaver bird, and the whole flock flew, but once the snake was eating the weaver birds came back and didn't seem too bothered. And presumably it's because the snake was in the process of eating. So that's very interesting. I think that there's something to it. Birds are pretty tuned into what's going on. So we got a couple of comments here. Let's see. I'm excited to head back home for the summer. Yes. Great. So Laura from Oklahoma is excited to come back home, and I'll definitely stop by and say hello. Excellent. Please do that. Jessica saying, drama, is there a hawk? Yes, there was a hawk. If you didn't catch that, if I wasn't clear, there was a Cooper's hawk, presumably, that swooped through here. I entirely missed it, but everybody else in here, by their reaction, I knew exactly what was going on. So the feeders have kind of cleared out. Now, Rick just had the chickadee. So chickadee is saying coast is clear. There's the chickadee up on the screen. So that's a good sign. Yep, and Pam is saying that same thing. Finally.
Whoa, back there.
What do you have?
Way back there, way the hawk.
Oh, way flying off?
It was coming in and
Okay.
it was downriver.
Okay. The hawk went downriver. Pamela is saying finally have the chickadees coming in. Yep, that's a good sign. And Jessica, we are going to need to use the collective gasp of your audience in an ad for Coffee with the Birds. She's always thinking some marketing, you know. She's the communications expert there. On point there, Jess. Yes. And Cindy is saying my favorite ID tip for Sharpies is think parakeet head. Yes. Yeah, they kind of got that short, stubby bill, the real rounded head. That's a good one. I like that. Carl and Judy say in the last Clements update on the taxonomic guide, in October, Cooper's hawk was removed from accipiter, but I don't remember the new classification. Cooper's V now fits in accipitrine. Not sure what that is. And Jeff says, need more bird puns. I'm trying to feed the birds, but the squirrels keep robbing the seed. Oh, ba-doom. Yes, and yep, a comment in the audience saw a robin. I had a robin the other day too. They're around. They're around. So we do have a chickadee again, and we've got some birds on the ground over here, the tree sparrows and the juncos. Oh, there's some more movement out there. Good. Good. Anybody else online, in person, more comments, stories, things to fill the gap as we're waiting for the birds to come back? Yeah. Yeah. So the question was, why weren't you seeing birds at the feeders when it was really cold a couple weeks ago? And typically, if it's really cold and snowy, the birds come to the feeders more often. So if there's too much snow on it and they can't access it, other things like that, you got to think it's not behavioral to it's too cold to eat, because as it gets colder, then they want to eat more actually, and they need to eat more to stay warm. So it would be something else access-wise to the feeder, I would think. Typically, during the harshest weather here is when we have the most bird activity here. So, yeah. And the squirrels will disappear because they'll kind of semi-hibernate in their nests and then come out when it gets warmer again. But the birds can't do that. Just overnight they can, but not day to day. Yep. So now you need to share your red-breasted with us here, because we don't have them here. So yeah. I don't know what it is. We used to have red-breasted nuthatches coming to the feeder every winter here. And the last 2 years, last year and this year, we have not had red-breasted nuthatches at our feeder. Not sure why. Maybe the local pair perished, and the other pairs haven't figured it out yet, or something like that. Usually, when they move through in migration, because they're an eruptive migrant, you still get them here, and you can still get them at the feeders, but we still have not gotten them at the feeders. And I know you can see them elsewhere on this property at the park here, and so they're just not coming to our feeders. So you got to put a sign out and say, "Come visit." Oh, yeah. There's a tufted titmouse there. So, yeah. Yes. Sometimes they do, and we offer that in number 8 over here. So the question is, do you think that they prefer the in-the-shell seed? And that could be if they want to hide it away somewhere and not eat it right away, yes. And that's why we like to still feed them some of that. Yeah, in number 8, that's in-the-shell sunflower seed. Of the nuthatch, yeah. The white-breasted really comes to the other feeders here. It doesn't. I'll see it at the other one sometimes, but usually comes to number 3 and 4, and maybe number 1 over here. So, yeah, interesting. Peanut chips for the red-breasted. Okay. Yep. Yep. Yeah, the thing about the chips is that it is more of an instant snack. They've got to eat it right away. They don't store it away. Whereas the ones in the shell, yeah, then they can store it away somewhere. So that is why I like to feed both. But they'll, depending on if they're hungry, that's, you know, they'll eat it out of one or the other. Okay. 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 All right. We've got squirrels out there. Feel free to show the squirrels. But that Cooper's hawk has really put a damper on. Oh, we do have a tree sparrow on the ground over here. I just hope those finches come back and we can get a pine siskin out of it. But boy, they really did scared, but oh, you know what? I do see some finches coming back. They're up in the branches here. I missed it. Something was across the river. Could be goldeneye or bufflehead or something like that. There are sometimes some ducks on the river. Yep. Is there anything else online here? It's a treat to see the tufted titmouse. Over the past 10 years here, we have only seen them at the feeders twice. From Cindy in Canada. Wow. Only twice. So now, if you're a little further north, they do become more scarce. So tufted titmouse is more southerly, and as you get into the UP, I think they're pretty scarce up there. So up across into Canada might be even more so. But yeah, they become a little less common there. And there are certain things, even cardinals and red-bellied woodpeckers are more rare to find in the UP. So go ahead and try to find them when you go to the UP. Notice the differences in the avian life up there. There we go, American tree sparrow on the screen, something to keep you interested. Juncos are coming in, and those goldfinches are right up there. So they're coming. They're coming. We're going to get some life back at the feeders. So what all are you, those of you who are online, what's your snack of choice? What's your donut? I think we've asked that before. And what's your donut? What are you eating out there? And this is cream filled, by the way. I mean custard filled, not cream. Custard. It's the yes. I prefer the custard. Long John's. That's my donut. Oh, and we do have a comment here. Tabitha, she is here as well, and I told her you gotta put it on the chat online, and then I'll be reminded to say this. Tabitha is saying, if you're looking for Madcap coffee, if you like the coffee that we're drinking, there are places that you can purchase that locally. And they donated it here for Coffee with the Birds, and it is locally available in Grand Rapids, Lemon Jello, and Daybreak in Hudsonville, and Coffee Factory in Muskegon. And a big thank you to Madcap Coffee for giving us coffee today. So, where in Grand Rapids is it, Tabitha? You say Lemon Jello. Lemon Jello is, that's Holland. Okay. Fulton Street. Okay. Near the farmer's market on Fulton Street. There you go. And Village Baker Scones. Scott Schmidt is saying Village Baker Scones. Oh, right on. I like that. Jessica is saying chocolate pancakes. Now it's all about the coffee. And the chocolate pancakes are just for the kids, right, Jess? Just for the kids. And Pam is saying, I'm going all out with eggs, potatoes, fruit, and oat cookies. My goodness. Oh, so here are, the goldfinches are back. All right, our activity has resumed here. Yep. All right. So if you can take note of the goldfinches, you'll see like the upper right, that's a female there. Very dull grayish olive color. Look at the one on the front and center on the tray. Very bright yellow. That's the female, or that's the male, excuse me. The female was the dull one. The male is the brighter colored one. And over the next month, you'll see a change. So now when we have Coffee with the Birds next month, you'll probably see more of these goldfinches with bright yellow patches on them. As we get into March, they start to transition. And by the time you get to mid to late April into May, then they're all the way yellow with black on the wings like you see here. So that's a good way to identify them any season is they've got these black wings with the white wing bars. But during the winter they change their plumage. You having an issue with your camera? White-breasted nuthatch on number 1 just flew off up into the tree there. Good, I finally got one on my checklist now. So, yeah, I know. I got the crow though. Did you see the crow? Oh. Yes, there was. Before we started, and if you were tuned in before we started at 9:30, there was a red-bellied woodpecker here on, I think it was on number 4 or number 3, one of those. So, but we haven't had them since 9:30. Oh my goodness! And there we go again. Oh, there go the rest of them. They're very wary right now. Probably because they had an actual Cooper's hawk come through. So somebody keeps making faces in the audience here at the Birds. I'm telling you. And if you're wondering about number 4 there, what the black thing is on there, that's actually Gorilla Tape. So we've had to have that on there because a squirrel got on there and actually ripped the mesh apart down below, and so we have to have that on there, or otherwise the seed all falls out. So we probably need to purchase a new feeder. But and so sometimes when the food runs out on the ground, they'll get up onto these feeders and they'll chew through that tape and get the remaining seed that's in there. So we like to keep them fat and happy on the ground by giving them food on the ground. That's usually helpful. Where DeBrine Seed, of course. Right? DeBrine Seed has got great selection of feeders there, all kinds. And I will ask, like, what's your best feeder for this type of seed? And I'll probably need to change up the type so that we often lose a bit of seed out of these feeders too because the mesh is not quite tight enough. So I'll have to ask for some advice. I don't know if they're online now, but sometimes they're online. They've got us on in their shop while Coffee with the Bird. So they've got Coffee with the Birds going on while they're selling seed and other things at DeBrine. Oh, Susan Stack says, I love to hear the crowd reaction. This is my favorite spectator sport. I love it. We're getting plenty of those reactions today, too. I'll tell you what. Whew. Yes. Oh, Kyler. So the types of suet here in number 5, it's a woodpecker suet is the darker one. And that, I think, has a lot of peanuts in it and stuff, and it also has some seeds. And then the white one there is just plain 100% raw. Well, not raw, excuse me. It's rendered, but it's 100% fat. It's crude fat content, 100%. I like the woodpecker ones because it adds a little bit of diversity to what we're feeding out there, and it runs around 50% crude fat content. And what is this crude fat content thing? If you haven't heard me talk about this before, that is the number 1 thing that you should look at when you're looking at suets to feed. And that's why normally I go with the woodpecker suet or the peanut suet, because those are the ones that have the highest crude fat content. When birds are eating suet, that's what they're after, is the fat. It's high energy. And so that's why I really like to put this 100% suet out. It's a little more expensive, but it's exactly what the birds want. And you can see they're really going after it too. And you can get that at DeBrine. They sell that. It's about $3 1/4, I think, for one of those bricks. But again, it's exactly what you need, what the birds need. And it goes for a while because they're not having to pick through all the other stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, last time I got some of that 100% from the brine. When I was there, they had a cake called high energy. It was the one with the lowest fat.
There you go.
They increased the later leaves, the fat
Right, don't read the label that says high energy. We got a comment here, it was the lowest fat content and the high energy. And yeah, just go right for the little, you got to read the fine print. It says crude fat content on there. What was I going to say about it? I lost my thought, that's all right. But yes, at DeBrine is where you can purchase this 100% suet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It can't get through the mesh of the cage. Got it. But yes, the comment here is that by Paula is that to detract starlings from eating mealworms, you get a caged feeder. So it's a feeder that has a cage surrounding the feeding inside. And for mealworms, you just have little bowls in there, I guess, that you can put them in. And then if the bird is too big to get through the mesh, that's a problem. Our number 7 feeder is like that over here. Bigger birds can't get in there. This one's not being used for mealworms, but that is a really good deterrent. The little birds can get in. Cardinals can't get into that, but I'm not thinking about cardinals for that feeder. I'm thinking about our little guys. So those are really effective feeders, yeah. Oh, really? So it's huge. Right? Paul is saying it's very satisfying to watch the starlings try it again and then not be able to. So you have to send a picture sometime, Paula. Any other questions, comments? Yeah, yeah. And then we'll go over here too. Okay, I caught you out of the corner of my eye. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, a lot of, the comment is a lot of butchers will just throw out the suet because it's not good for anything. On a rare occasion, they'll package it up because they know birders want it to feed in their yard. But if you know a local butcher, just ask them over the counter, hey, what do you do with your suet? Oh, we got the nuthatch on the, little out of focus there, Rick, I don't know. At Frank's in Grand Haven? Okay, they've got it in the freezer section at Frank's in Grand Haven. I used to get some from a local butcher too. I just haven't done it this year, and I need to do it before the end of the year. There's a butcher over along Port Sheldon that I've gone to before, but usually when I want it, then he's doing deer. And so then I can't get it, and then I forget about it till later, and like, he's done doing deer now I can go, and then I just forget because I'm already doing what I'm doing here. So, but yes, raw suet can also be used, so I've cut it up and put it in the freezer just as raw suet, or you can render it down, but by melting it. With the raw suet, you want to just do it in cold weather, so that it doesn't go bad. But yes, talking to the guy that I get it from, he was saying, yeah, sometimes we'll just hang up the suet, like a big old chunk of it from the tree, and the woodpeckers will just come all over it. So, yep, they know. Yes, it makes you look differently at those chickadees, too, when they come and they start eating off this cow carcass, Are they truly herbivores? No, and actually they're not. They are omnivores, but they eat insects too, so that's why omnivore. But eating another big animal like that, kind of an unusual thing. Okay, the birds are coming back, and we're going to need to wind down because I'm going to have to transition into the other room here. I know, this is going to happen just in time for us to We'll go a few more minutes here. Yep. Pamela's saying, thanks, Rick. You know I love the squirrels, so if you can get the squirrels on, they like that too. They're a part of our bird feeding neighborhood. Here, oh, we've got the white birds going up the river right now. Oh, those are common mergansers. Those were common mergansers. 3 common mergansers. That's a good one to put on the list. I won't put it on the feeder board though, because that might give the wrong impression. Yeah, we had them swimming in the pond right here. M-E-R-G, merg, and then A-N-S-E-R, merganser. Common merganser. There's red-breasted, common, and hooded mergansers around here, and those were common. They're probably flying from Pigeon Lake, and you'll find out how you can see common mergansers and other birds in the winter in just a few minutes. That's a good lead-in, right? Because I'm going to be talking about birding in Ottawa County in the winter. When a lot of people kind of hold up in the house and don't think about going outside unless you're going to go sledding or skiing or something, you know what? Winter is actually a great opportunity to go out and see some different birds that you wouldn't see at other times of the year. You're going to have less diversity of birds, but you're going to have more bang for your buck. Like there's a lot of neat stuff that you can see in the winter, and we're going to go over that during the birding tidbits portion in just a few minutes. The nuthatch coming in, and the goldfinches are about to come back. Oh, and those of you online, you're welcome. We've got a comment from the Mannings here. Thank you, Rick and Curtis and crew, for another great program. You're welcome. What I'm going to do is actually put a link in the, let me do this here a second. I'm going to put a link in the comments here for you to follow to watch the birding tidbits, okay? So let me put that in here. There we go. Oh, and Jessica's saying another great coffee with the birds. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for letting us put it on here, Jess. As if you had a choice. And the Mannings are saying there have been almost 100 species seen in Ottawa County already this year. So when you don't think there's many birds around, you know what? There really are. And you'll find out a little bit more about how to see those. And I've put in the comments here a link to the live stream that we'll be running for the Tidbits presentation. So you're welcome to join us there. We'll be ending this stream in a little bit and starting the other stream. So it is 10:22. It's time for me to make that transition. So I'm going to do that, and I'll cut my mic here, or I'll have Rick cut my mic here in a minute, and maybe he'll run the camera for a couple more minutes. Sometimes he does that, but I'm going to transition into the other room. And I encourage everybody in the room here to transition over into the great room for the presentation. And thank you so much for joining Coffee with the Birds this morning in person and online. It's been enjoyable. We had quite an eventful Coffee with the Birds. And we have one Coffee with the Birds left, which will be a live stream, and it will be on March 8th. So I hope to see you there again, and I'll see you in a few minutes for the birding tidbit.